Well, hello there, hello there, hello there to all you wisdom walkers, want to be wisdom walkers, need to be wisdom walkers. This is Jojo Maria and Sarama coming to you with another edition of Wisdom Walk Talk. And this is my pre show as my live broadcast is being set up, and also my theme song by Stevie Wonder, Nicolela, is being played. As you can see, I am in a very different setting from what you usually see me in because I have the great pleasure of being hosted by my dear friend Quanita Roberson in her home here in Cincinnati, where I haven't been in like 7 years. So her son graduated from college last weekend. And so it was also her birthday. Then her daughter's birthday was the next day and Mother's Day. So it's been truly a celebratory time. So I've been so happy to be here and so grateful that she gives me this space to do this work with you. Can you believe we are here coming to the close of May? I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And there's so much going on. Of course, the solar flares that happened and the northern lights being as low as Hawaii, all of that. So it's been a very, very intense time. There's a lot going on too in the real world. And so I'm so grateful to have this time to connect with friends and celebrate. Next week, I'll be celebrating my great nephew's graduation from high school in Florida. So I'm so grateful to have this time to do some traveling, connect with family and friends, and also relax, give myself some time to just do nothing, to just relax. So I hope that you have been also mindful of taking care of yourself, drinking lots of water, keeping yourself hydrated, and just giving yourself some time, some space to breathe, because this energy is no joke, as always, especially this year. And so it's really important that we are doing our self-care. Yeah. So I hear that my theme song is coming to a wind down. So I'm going to stop my banner for my pre-show. Thank you for being here too, to hang out with me for this pre-show. And in just 1 minute, we'll get started with the beginnings of both the broadcast and the live stream all at once. Good evening. This is Wisdom Walk Talk here on Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel, Wisdom Walk 2 Self Mastery. I am your host and guide, Jojo Maria and Saroma. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being willing to open up and listen to me spill on my ancient wisdom, my personal wisdom. And as I'm talking about this month, this notion of us going beyond. Now, as always, I am going to start out this broadcast, this multicast, with first honoring the ancestors. And of course, I give a nod out to my two teachers, Mali Doman Sabonfu Some from Burkina Faso, land of the proud ancestors. So grateful to them for bringing their ancient wisdom to us here in Western culture. And I'd like you to think of your ancestors, who it is that you are connecting to, or who it is that you're calling upon for guidance, wisdom, and support. And join me as I do this invocation. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is. May the ancestors hear our prayers Ancestors, 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 we call out to you during the second quarter of 2024 and ask you to enable us to live our personal renaissance more deeply by remembering and enacting upon our higher purposes during this auspicious and landmark mineral year. Grant us access to our higher timeline where we know that what we are seeking is seeking us. Give us the strength and courage to continue to accept and embrace this new age and new earth consciousness, daring greatly to live out our new narratives and knowing that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, continue to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity, placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always, always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, I say amen. Ashe Ahoasaj and Gibis Milan. So it is. Ashe. All right, we got the ancestors here. So once again, hello to all you wisdom walkers out there, all of those of you maybe newly to wisdom walking. My theme for 2024 is what you seek is seeking you, and May is the first Earth month in this landmark mineral year of personal change from the inside out. The earth energy supports our ability to feel worthy, valuable, and abundant. And the theme for May is Go Beyond. Once you have committed to learning how to believe more deeply, to embrace the healing of ancestral wounds, to move forward with new opportunities and situations, to consciously embrace and or expand living on purpose, you are absolutely ready to go beyond the emotional and mental borders built by trauma and overwhelming fear. Thank you for joining me as I share my wisdom, my insights, and guidance on this fifth collective commitment, and to receive support in going beyond into the unknown where happy endings are waiting to be experienced. Ashe. But first, just a reminder for those of you who are listening in over the live broadcast, and also too if you're on your computer, if you have any problem with your Wi-Fi connection, you can still access this program over the telephone. And here's the number. It's area code 563-999-3089. Again, that's 563-999-3089. And if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to share with me, the best way to do that is first my Facebook page, which is Wisdom Walk Radio, then my Facebook community, which you're welcome to join, Wisdom Walk Community. You can also comment on my website, which is www.wisdomwalktoselfmastery.com. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you can do it in the comments sections provided. But right now, I invite you to sit or lay back and join me for an exploration of the inner landscape where we can connect to our souls and discover or rediscover the true truth of being human. Shay. So let me get a little water. My voice getting a little scratchy there. I want to also start off tonight with acknowledging and honoring Asian American, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, as I did also the last time on my live broadcast. And it's my great pleasure to do this. And I was in a bookstore just yesterday. A wonderful bookstore here in Cincinnati called Joe Beth. And I'm looking around and going to the different departments, of course, going to spirituality. And then I just made just a tour of it. And I came across a book by a legendary silent into talking film star named Anna May Wong. And I immediately knew that I had to share about Anna May Wong with you, especially if you've never heard of her or never seen the Shanghai Express or any of her movies. So sit back and let me share with you about Anna May Wong. So she was born on January the 3rd, 1905, in Los Angeles, California. She died in February the 3rd, 1961, in Santa Monica, California, right? My stomping grounds. And she was an American actress who overcame discrimination and racism, appearing in over 60 movies to become one of the first Asian Americans to have a successful film career in Hollywood and in the world. She was international. Anna May Wong was born Wang Leo Sung on January the 3rd, 1905, and she was the second of her parents' 7 children. Anna's parents owned a laundry business just outside of Los Angeles, Chinatown, because that was, oh, and they operated and had their residence there because that was one of the few options available to Chinese Americans at that time in terms of being an entrepreneur. At a young age, Anna was fascinated with the movies, and she used the tip she earned delivering laundry to buy movie tickets. She also frequently skipped school to watch movies being filmed on the streets of Chinatown. And when she was 14, she got her first bit part in a movie. She was an extra in a movie called The Red Lantern. Now, although she had no lines or no official credit recognition, she decided this was the beginning of a big career. So she continued to take whatever roles she could find. And by 1921, she dropped out of school, of course, to her parents' chagrin, to pursue acting full time. And that's when she changed her name to Anna May Wong. Her big break came in 1922 at age 17 when she was cast as a lead character in the silent film, The Toll of the Sea. And from there, the jobs increased, the roles got bigger and bigger, and roles she had. And she also had a growing following of fans. Now, like all persons of color, especially during the early part of the 20th century, Anna dealt with bigotry and institutionalized racism. She was also subject to the Chinese Exclusion Act, which required all people of Chinese descent to carry identification papers to prove that they were allowed to be in the USA, despite having been born here. Even when Anna's face was on billboards and movie screens and magazines across the country, she had to constantly prove her citizenship. To fight off prejudice, Anna adopted a flapper lifestyle. She was independent, free-spirited, and energetic, and posed for portraits that presented her as an all-American woman and a glamorous Hollywood starlet. Also, during this time in US history, most audiences wanted to see Asian women portraying stereotypes as either butterflies, passive young women, or dragon ladies, murderous villainesses. Also, it was common for white actresses to play Asian characters in yellowface, so Anna was often competing against non-Asian women for Asian parts. Yeah. Although Anna's roles were limited, she became wildly popular with viewers of diverse backgrounds. Asian Americans were thrilled to see an Asian person on screen, and white and audiences of color saw her as an exotic Oriental. Even though she often played stereotypes, she also showed viewers that Asian women could be successful professionals. In 1924, she actually started her own film production company in an attempt to break free from Hollywood stereotyping, but was betrayed by business partners and the company dissolved. But this didn't stop Anna. By the 1930s, she worked around the globe. She was a huge star in Europe, appeared in magazine covers, did fashion layouts for Vogue and whatnot, but most of her roles were still typecast. After losing out on a starring role about a Chinese woman that was given to a white woman in Hollywood, and this was about the lead character in Pearl S. Buck's The Good Earth, which was a best-selling book. It's still a classic. And when this happened, she was like, okay, I need to go to China. I've never been to China. I need to go to China. And she traveled there for the first time. She got criticism from the Chinese by playing racist roles, But she responded by filming her first journey to China to promote its authentic culture. And during World War II, she raised money for Chinese refugees. Now, Anna's career began to fade after the war. Tastes were changing, and Anna was no longer able to play the young Asian stereotypes that had brought her success in the past. The next few decades were full of highs and lows. After years of struggling and little work, Anna became the first Asian American to star in her own television series. But the show was canceled after one season. Also, Anna's health began to fail, and although she hoped to have a role in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Flower Drum Song, which was the first all Asian cast on Broadway and also was being made into a movie, she unfortunately died from a heart attack in her sleep. After her death, the Asian American Arts Awards and the Asian Fashion Designers Group named annual awards after her. Now, what's really, really cool about her, if you can imagine how things were back in the day and how hard it was for any person of color to get notoriety, to have platform, what she was able to do is just amazing. And the film that I saw her in, where I was just blown away by her, is called The Shanghai Express, or Shanghai Express, starring Marlene Dietrich. And just wanted to share with you how that came about. So after accepting another stereotypical role in The Daughter of the Dragon, because she was promised that she would be able to appear in a Joseph von Sternberg, that was the great director of Marlene Dietrich. He was masterful at lighting. It was amazing. Anna got to co-star with her friend Marlene Dietrich in her most famous film, The Shanghai Express. Now, the role gave her an opportunity to break out of stereotype and present a strong, independent, proud woman who isn't intimidated by white folks and refuses to stay victimized by a Chinese general. She steals the show with a plot twist that nobody could imagine. That Anna May Wong as Wei Fei, a Chinese, could brazenly speak in such a witty and cool manner while exuding a controlled rationality in this mind game plot was even more astonishing to Chinese living in North America, because it precluded and subordinated them with discriminatory legislation and overt hostility. And so it's like, oh my God, what's she doing? What's she saying? What's she doing? But here was a yellow woman holding her own against two white women. It was truly an extraordinary sight that almost never happened in the icy reality of interracial relationships in which no yellow person could think to act equally to a white person in the 1930s. So I hear they are going to be making a biop of her, which would be really cool. As you can see here in the picture, and I'll brighten it up again, because last year she got put onto a quarter, a US currency. She also was made into a Barbie doll last year. So there's a buzz going with Anna May Wong, which is great because people really need to know about her and how courageous she was, and, all of what she did and went through. She had her face, look, she had her face on Time magazine. I mean, she was really popular. And there's also, you can see on that first column of the collage, that middle picture is a painting of her that's hung in the National Gallery. Yeah, Anna May was no joke. She was no joke. So she really died too soon. She died at 56, but we're so grateful that and some of her films got lost, silent films especially, and weren't put on the right kind of material. And even the early films, if they don't get taken care of and what do they call it, restored professionally, it just all fades. So there are some, though, of her that do exist, and I encourage you to take some time and find out about Anna May Wong. I'll also drop in the comment section below to YouTube some links for what I use to share the information about her. Shay. Right. So moving right along, let me remind you that, again, this is a mineral year, which is all about purpose and connecting to our souls and to the souls of others. The theme Our collective theme for this year is what you seek is seeking you, which is that beautiful quote by Rumi. And this month's theme in May is go beyond, which is grounded in this earth energy, this grounding energy for us. Now is the time to experience the more of who you truly are. This year, we can choose to go beyond the borders of our trauma and step onto a new, unknown path of fulfillment, joy, and happy endings. Yeah, absolutely. So here's my overview for you. I am going to talk about why we must go beyond. I'm also going to give you what I feel are some common blocks to going beyond, and I'll do it according to the medicine wheel, Dagger medicine wheel. Then I'll talk about accepting and removing those blocks. And then, of course, I'll give you a contemplative exercise. My quotes for the month from Buddha and Jesus Christ. Buddha says, the unknown is where all outcomes are possible. Enter it with grace. And Jesus said, if you can believe, all things are possible to those who believe. Ashe. So this month, I'm talking about going beyond, that great beyond that we need to move forward into unconditionally, undoubtedly, unafraid, courageously. Yeah. And here's the reason why, folks. We have really evolved. We have entered into a whole new time frame, a whole new level of evolved human consciousness. And there's no going back. There's no going back. I just love this picture of the then and now in terms of how children played. And look at the difference in that. I mean, and it's really happening. Also, as it says in the collage, we're considered to be in our fourth industrial revolution with artificial intelligence, information, and technology. This is real. This is real. This is happening. And there is no going back. So we can choose to take ourselves beyond what we know, what we think, and what we believe from the past. And again, the past pain, and step into the unknown so that we can learn how to be with all this, how to be with all of this change that has happened and happened so rapidly. You know, it's really happened very rapidly. So the question is, what's blocking? What's blocking you from going beyond? And I want to present to you again some common blocks that I myself experience and others that I talk to, and I'll do it according to the medicine wheel so it's easier for us to get a handle on. So let's start with fire. Here's the big block. Yeah, ancestral and historical wounds. That intergenerational trauma that gets passed down through our DNA. And unless we are opening ourselves up and willing to take this on, we will be blocked. We will be stuck. Absolutely. Absolutely. Going into the element of water, we deal with personal shame, blame, and guilt. Those things in our lives that have us doubting whether or not we can reach our promised land, whether or not we can really be gifted by the universe. And again, it is a real block. It's a serious block until we choose to do something about it. And we definitely need to do that. Then we go to the earth element, and this is all about unworthiness conditioning, the inability to trust that you are worthy of being sought. Remember the annual theme, what you seek is seeking you. So when you can't believe that you are worthy of being sought, yeah, it's not a good day. It is not a good day. So that really has to be taken on and turned around. Then we come to the mineral element. And here we have avoiding embracing your higher purpose. Yes, when you run from it, this is what it looks like. This is what happens. Also, your disconnection from your soul and your divine source. However, you know that, experience that, doesn't matter. But when purpose is not known, as it says here, abuse is inevitable. And so we definitely want to open up to move out of the confusion, the uncertainty, the doubt, and really get ourselves connected. And then, last but not least, in the nature element, it's about the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of loss, security, safety, and support as we're going beyond. The fear of being judged, ostracized, and included because we're doing something maybe that not everybody around you is doing or has fears about you doing. And then the fear of having to leave others behind. Yeah. These, again, are big blocks. They're real blocks for what can happen when we choose to take on going beyond. So the idea here is for us to have a consciousness of this. That's what it's really about. We've got to be conscious of it because it's our intentions that create our reality to go beyond. So if we're not paying attention to the fact that we're dealing with blocks, it's just not gonna work. We just keep spinning around in a circle. And like I said, the evolutionary process has happened. The age of Aquarius is here, and there's no going back. So we do need to consciously give ourselves permission to evolve, to go beyond, what's been holding us, what's been keeping us. And so here's my advice, my suggestion. It's about accepting and removing those blocks. But this is not an intellectual exercise. It requires vulnerability and sitting in the pain of those blocks. It requires surrendering to something beyond your knowing. It requires a willingness to be taught how to heal and remove those blocks in a loving manner. This is about, I have got to set an intention. I've got to set my prayer, and I have to show the universe that I am willing to go on the journey beyond what it is that I now know. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what I am doing with this travel that has come up for me. I could have made all kinds of excuses about money, about time, about, COVID, I could have done all that, but I knew I had to surrender and open up to learning. Okay, I'm going to different places and I'll be around my family and friends, but I'll still be around different things and different people. And there must be something for me to learn because I am so committed to going beyond. I am clear that I want to really experience myself as an evolved human, as I know all of you all do too. Like this, definitely we want this, yeah. But we're at a crossroads and we get to choose which direction we're going to take. And again, it's only two choices. Either you're going to go to the fear and run away from going beyond, or you're going to love on yourself and ultimately share that love with others by finding your courage and moving forward into the unknown. And I love this quote by Arthur C. Clarke, the great science fiction writer, who said, "The only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go beyond them into the impossible." So this is truly about us giving ourselves permission to take risk, giving ourselves permission to imagine, to believe, to dream, to really say, you know what, there is something beyond my own back door that I really need to go and experience so that I can learn more of what I need to learn, do more of what I need to do, be more of who I truly am. Yeah. And so that, my experience here in this new world can be one of joy, of happiness, and fulfillment. So a lot of scary things going on. And if we succumb to that fear, yeah, it's not going to be a good day. So here is my contemplated exercise for using the elemental blocks that I share. What I'd like you to do is to contemplate each of these, starting with fire. What's the ancestral and historical wounds that are knocking to be healed in your life? And if you don't know it, that's okay. Open up to learning what that is. What's a personal shame, blame, and guilt that you're holding on to? You may also be doing this unconsciously. So set that intention to become clear about where it is that shame, blame, and guilt about yourself, about the past, is blocking you from going beyond. How are you feeling unworthy? How is that showing up? Because it is a conditioning. It is a conditioning. So want to be really conscious of it. Want to know even the source of it, because it's an invalidation that you may have received in childhood or as a teenager. And that inability to trust that you're worthy of being sought. Really contemplate that. Why can't you believe that what you seek is seeking you? Absolutely. And then in regards to the mineral, are you avoiding your higher purpose? Are you running from it? Are you running from your connection to the soul and to divine source? A lot of times people say to me, Judge, if I don't know how to connect, I don't know. And I'm like, good, but you can learn. And that's what this is about. Learning, remembering your higher purpose, and learning how to be connected to soul and source so that you can live it. Absolutely. And then last but not least, definitely look at these fears, this fear of loss of safety, security, or support. If I step outside my known territory, if I climb over that wall into the unknown, what am I going to lose? Who's going to judge me? What am I going to be excluded from? Who do I have to leave behind? And again, these are very real fears. I'm not minimizing this. I know for me, all of those came up when I chose to go on my journey to learn how to be a shamanic healer. But I was conscious of them, and that's what helped me keep moving forward, keep taking the steps forward. So again, that's your contemplative exercise. I hope that you take time with it, give yourself permission, let yourself really, really step into going beyond the limits so that you really can experience how beautiful, how powerful, how wonderful, how creative and amazing you truly are. Yeah, that's what you want to experience. Ashe. So here's my quote this month from Mama Sarah, who says, failure is impossible. It is an illusion. Nothing is a failure. Everything moves the human story. Hence, the progress of evolution forward. Everything advances you on your journey. And I'll add, of success. Ashe. Thank you, Mama Sarah. And so I have come to the close of this multicast and this month's multicast. And I hope you find the information valuable and supportive, as I know you are wisdom walking and becoming the best version of yourself. Now, as always, I want to close out first by thanking my wonderful engineer, Miss Yvette Parker, and the entire Black Hole Be Well family. Thank you so much for continuing to give me platforms so I can do what I love to do. Of course, I want to shout out to all my regular listeners out there and watchers, to those of you who have wisdom walk with me and you know who you are, to my family on both coasts and my family here in the Midwest, woohoo! And to all my spiritual kin everywhere, including my transformational leadership colleagues, my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and those who may be listening or watching for the first time. Thank you. Big thank you. I couldn't do this without your willingness to watch, to listen, and to learn. Now, for those of you who are listening through Black Hole Radio, you can access the videos that I have placed out this month on the elemental wisdom and the astrology for self-mastery. I'll do one more astrology video before the end of the month on my YouTube channel, which is Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery. You can get notifications from my Facebook page or my Facebook Wisdom Walk community. I also have the videos showing up on my website, www.wisdomwalktoselfmastery.com. And again, if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you will definitely get them that way. Now, my next broadcast will be a repeat of this on Sunday, May 26th. Happy Memorial Day weekend coming up. And my next live multicast will be in June, where I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to do some interviews. Yeah, I'm going to do some interviews. That'll be fun. And 3 of my shaman colleagues, and we'll discuss this, how we are spiritually navigating this mineral year. Absolutely. And as always, I want to do a quick promotion of my book, Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery, available online, available through Kindle. Also want to promote my dear friend Quanita Robertson's book that she wrote with Amy Howton, also available through Amazon, Kindle, and online, The Innerground Railroad. Also want to give a shout out to my dear friend Queen Adara, who does her Heart for Healing service every first and third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And you can find out the link, get the free link to that on her website, spiritismylife.com. And as always, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. Now, please have a very healthy and safe Earth Week, giving support, paying it forward, and being an inspiration. Yes. Now, continue to wear your mask and or strengthen that immune system. Keep it strong. Practice safe relating. Wash those hands frequently. Avoid perceived safety and embrace science safety. And most importantly, do remember that you are not disposable. Why? Because you are divine. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for being here. Talk to you soon now. Bye-bye.